Tonight on News 5 Live, a State of the Nation address precedes the Independence Day ceremony. The Prime Minister tells Belizeans inflation is down. They disagree. Elmer Naz Belmopan triple murder arraignment is adjourned. The Commissioner of Police says the sentence for Sergeant Christopher Martinez is excessive. And tonight on Culture Tuesday, we reflect on the contributions of former Governor General Sir Colville Young. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Friday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center, the 10th annual Soca and Culture Fest, featuring the Byron Lee headliners, Jamaica's hottest dancehall artist Nige Boy and Mr. Vegas. Admission general $50, VIP $135, platinum $200, and the Racino's Import Skydeck $300. Friday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center, the 10th annual Soca and Culture Fest, featuring the Byron Lee headliners, Jamaica's hottest dancehall artist Nige Boy and Mr. Vegas. Be there.
Have you designed a project that protects and preserves our vital mangroves? Now's your chance to be recognized as a mangrove conservation champion. Join the Mangrove Friendly Development Challenge, a national competition celebrating innovative designs that enhance and preserve mangroves on private property. Developers, landowners, and other interested groups are welcome to register before October 15th, 2024. For more information, visit mangrovefriendlychallenge.org.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, September 17th. I am Sabrina Daly. The entrance to the Sir Edney Kane building in Belmopan was transformed to accommodate Prime Minister John Briceño's State of the Nation address this morning. His 20-minute speech was briefly interrupted by the rain. Nonetheless, PM Briceño touched on every sector, from business to education, health, infrastructure, job creation, and even sports. He made a couple announcements that were met with mixed reactions, including an amendment to the income tax regime. The event saw the attendance of elected representatives, government officials, diplomats, and primary school students. News 5's Paul Lopez was there and he filed the following report.
A tent was pitched in front of the Sir Edney Kane building. A podium was placed at the entrance and bleachers were erected for primary school students to take their seats behind the head of government. All 27 elected PUP-era representatives sat in front of the podium, cheering on Prime Minister John Briceño as he delivered his State of the Nation address.
I'm happy to report that the State of the Nation is stronger, more hopeful, and more confident than at any time in our 43 years.
It's a presentation that is traditionally reserved for Independence Day. This year, however, the Briceño administration decided to forego the annual tradition to avoid the political mudslinging that often plays out in front of the diplomatic corps.
Because Belizeans are working and Belizeans are winning, for the first time ever, 97 of every 100 Belizeans who want a job have found one. The SIB reports that the unemployment rate stood at 3% since April of this year. Never before have so many jobs been available, and never before has the minimum wage been so high.
Prime Minister Briceño says the nation's gross domestic product has grown by 34% since 2020, with 2003's GDP now surpassing $6 billion. He says it's the highest level in the country's history.
To further support small business, small farmers, even new homeowners, government is making access to finance more affordable. And as we ring in the new year, government will pass legislation so that all mortgages, assignments, and cancellation of mortgages for less than $100,000 will be exempt from stamp duty. This exemption will surely assist lending institutions to compete for your business and bring down interest rates.
Perhaps the biggest revelation made by Prime Minister Briceño during his speech was the announcement of a new income tax regime.
Effective January 1st, in support of employees, Cabinet has approved that all workers who earn less than $29,000 will be exempt from income tax. By increasing the income tax exemption threshold from $20,000 to $29,000, an additional 2,851 workers will no longer be subject to income tax. The income tax laws will also be adjusted to remove existing anomalies so that in no instance will an employed person take home less pay when his or her salary increases. This amendment will benefit no less than 733 employed persons. Altogether, by these income tax deduction adjustments, over $3.3 million more will be placed directly into the pockets of over 3,500 employees, an average of almost $1,000 increase in net take-home pay.
PM Briceño went on to say that with the expansion of NHI, 216,000 Belizeans have access to virtually free primary health care. Approximately 100,000 students are in the classroom at all levels of academia. 20,000 Belizeans have become first-time landowners, and $450 million have been invested in total capital public investments.
The only gain that matters, a better life for the Belizean people. That our people are healthier, that our children are assured of a seat in the classroom gaining useful knowledge with ready access to digital resources, that we are a society of landowners and homeowners and a widening middle class, and that our farmers and visitors have safe and efficient access to every corner of the country. This is the kind of progress that ignites a virtuous circle of sustainable and equitable prosperity.
And as a small drizzle quickly became a heavy downpour, the school children cleared the bleachers. Prime Minister Briceño kept on reading, relying solely on a printed copy of his speech as the teleprompter was drenched. He went on to reaffirm Belize's support to Palestine and Ukraine and highlighted Belize's trailblazing efforts in conservation, especially marine conservation.
And so, judged by how we have improved ourselves and how we have enhanced our standing in the global stage, Belize can mark this 43rd birthday with confidence and pride. Momentum is on our side. The work continues. After 4 years of impressive achievements, our promises shine with the aura of destiny. Together, on the blessings of the Creator, we shall continue to reach to higher heights and move ever forward. Advanzando siempre, long live Belize, que viva Belize.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
If you were listening keenly, the Prime Minister's State of the Nation address is similar to the speech that would be given during the Independence Day ceremony in Belmopan. Well, that was intentional. Prime Minister Briceño and the leader of the opposition have agreed to give what would traditionally be their Independence Day address ahead of the actual day. PM Briceño explained that they are trying to avoid the political mudslinging that plays out at the official ceremony.
Under the Musa government, he used to do this, having this state of the report to the nation as to where we are. But it was stopped, obviously, with the previous government. But now that we continued that tradition. But it was unfortunate what was happening, that the leader of the opposition was going and saying some most outrageous stuff. And it was an embarrassment to all of us, not only to himself or to his party, but to the entire country. I remember many ambassadors, they are afraid to say anything, but eventually when they were talking on our side, they were telling us, what's wrong with this person? And so to avoid that embarrassment with our especially with our visitors, we decided that it's best then that we do this today. And we consulted with him and said he's prepared to have, I guess he'll probably have a press meeting or press briefing with you all probably tomorrow, supposedly to answer back. But at least it's not on Independence Day. I've always said Independence Day should be one day that we should set our differences aside. We will always have these differences, be it in politics or in relationships, in whatever it is. But the 21st one, that's one day I think we should leave all that aside and come together as Belizeans and be proud and patriotic Belizeans to see and look where we are, look at what we have accomplished in those short 43 years. We're still a baby as a nation. But it's important for us to take whatever corrective measures that had to be taken where we're going wrong to fix that. And that's what we're doing. So back to your question is that simply we want to avoid that travesty. So on the 21st, the leader of the opposition will be given an opportunity to give just a greeting, short message for the 21st, and then after that I will do the same.
Belizeans complain about the high cost of living daily. In his State of the Nation address today, Prime Minister John Briceño said that inflation is on a decline. The PM quoted a figure of 3.8%, down from 6.3% in 2024. He also said that there is more than $800 million in banking liquidity.
Inflation is down, falling from 6.3% in 2022 to 3.8% in 2024. Banking sector liquidity is abundant, exceeding $800 million. The Belizean dollar is stronger, with over $1.9 billion in foreign assets. And the public finances have been transformed in just 4 years, with public debt down to 63% of GDP from 130% in 2020, fortified by a primary budget surplus of 1% of GDP.
And while the Prime Minister said that the rate of inflation has gone down by 2.5% since 2022, the Belize City residents we spoke with disagree. Today we took our cameras downtown and asked consumers how they feel about the cost of living. They all believe that inflation is heading in the opposite direction and that the prices that are going up are on basic grocery items.
I don't know where this come down because I see the price of basic things gone up. For example, you go buy sugar, it gone up, and you can buy more than 5 pounds of sugar by person. You go and buy one soft drink, and it gone up $2.25 now. I was $2. The bread, the same thing. Used to be $2, $2.50, now $2.75, $2.95. Tell me, where is the cost of life gone down?
We the out here, we the see the economy exactly what it happened. Tell and talk the truth to the people, make the people know. Because we do have an inflation, the Belize, and we have it in America. What they affect America, they affect Belize. But then they trick the people. Come out and tell the people plain.
Cost of living can't go down when every week nearly everything they go up. Every other 2 weeks everything they nearly double the price. Cost of living now they go down. I the salesman, I do business man, I tell everything they go up. I sell natural juice, sometimes I coconut water. Bottle they go up. Even the coconut for the tree they go up. For a shilling we used to pay 20 cents for a whole coconut to 60 cents today. We coconut have $2 a bottle to $2.75. So cost of living could have never go down. Because everybody they complain and they punish, they take lick. I got a market and things so expensive. 75 cents for 1 liter dry up lime. Orange gone from $6 or $7 to $3 for dollar with the skin on it. So they can't tell me about no cost of living they go down.
I'm not think so.
Not think so, why?
Because everything's still expensive.
Okay. So when last you gone on the market and where you pay more pan?
Vegetables, all vegetables.
Okay. Significant increases?
Yes, increased by a lot. Everything increased by a lot. Even when you go to the store, when you just pay $3.25 for a can of powder, baking powder now it's $7 change. It double the price.
Nothing not to go down. Everything go up because from the time I sell tamales, everything still raised higher than where you think. And everybody know how to pay the price of the thing because it go up higher every day. When I was buy file paper, it was cost $7. Now it costs $18 and $13. Depends on the type of breed of file paper to buy because they got different type and different size. You understand? So every day, life, cost of living for me, for my kids there, chicken go up. Chicken gone up long time. We got $3.35 for a pound of chicken right now. Master done that, we was there what? That was 75 cents. Now master that $1.25. When I go buy noodles, simple noodles, gone from 50 cents to $1.25. Simple noodles. And it look like you're going up higher evidence.
Prime Minister John Bersenio also announced a new threshold for income tax exemption. All workers who make less than $29,000 will be exempted from income tax. The threshold was set at $26,000 under the Barrow administration. We spoke with PM Bersenio after the ceremony. He explained the decision in greater detail.
When the then Prime Minister introduced the amendments to the income tax regime back in, I think it was either 2009, 2010, I remember taking my time out to work out some figures in the House to show him that what he has done, he has basically increased the tax on people, because he said your threshold is at 26,000, I think 26,500. But once you reach that figure, you start to pay taxes at 20,000. So you weren't really doing much for people. Our plan is to eventually be able to get rid of PAYE. That's our goal. Well, how long it take us? Well, that's depending on how fast the economy can grow and revenues can grow, because if we reduce the tax, we have to get it from somewhere else. So we hope that with growth, we could be able to replace it. So this is the first step. We took it up to $29,000, and by doing that, so anybody that's earning $29,000 and more, less than $29,000, will pay zero tax, and it's one above $29,000 will pay. There was also an anomaly that the way the previous government, the Barrow government, set up the income tax is that, let's say you're at a threshold at say at $29,000, and you get a raise for say $100 to $29,100 here for the year. the tax regime that you jump into another bracket. And then in many instances, the tax you pay will eat up the raise that you're getting. And that was happening especially in the tourism industry. So a lot of, I'm told, I'm not know for sure, but a lot of people in the tourism industry and in other industries were forced to pay that in cash, because if the worker will say, well, I will not take a pay raise because then I'm going to get less money at the end of the day. So again, we made that that adjustment so that whenever that happens, you will never, your raise will never be more, the tax will never be more than the raise that you will get.
PM Berno was also asked if the new income tax regime is being used as a political tactic to garner support ahead of the 2025 general elections. And if less income tax goes to the public's coffer, what will the government do to replace that lost income? Here's how the Prime Minister responded to those questions.
No, absolutely not. We said it from early on that is something that we want to do, that we want to be able to see how we could give relief to the middle class. And the middle class are the ones that are paying these taxes. And so this is just the first step. Remember, I need to remind you, when we got into government, we got a bankrupt government. I mean, we were borrowing $1 million a day. So there's no way you could have afforded this. So we have to make sure that we can grow the economy. And when you see that our economy has gone from less than $4 billion in 2020 to over $6 billion now, it shows that there has been tremendous growth. Now we have to ensure now that we collect the taxes, and then by doing that, then we could continue to give more and more relief to our citizens. What we did is that we looked at the tax rolls from the Belize Tax Service, and they were the ones that said these are the people that are registered. But I believe that with doing this, I think we'll be able to capture more people within that amount that they will be able to register and to be able to pay as a taxpayer.
The total revenue basket has to remain the same. So what increase in revenue collection will there be to offset the loss from the income tax break?
As I said earlier, as the economy continues to grow, we end up collecting more taxes. And we expect that with the growth that we're projecting, the first 2 quarters of this year we had a 10% growth. We believe that we'll be able to offset those revenues. But you are right, there's no such thing as a free lunch. If we give away something, we'll have to get it from somewhere else. So we're expecting that with the growth in the tax, in the economy, then we'll be able to offset those losses.
Coming up, Prime Minister John Berno weighs in on the state of the Belize Police Department.
Hello friends, I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never thirst, and shall never hunger. And he that believeth on me shall never thirst." Today people are hungering and thirsting for a fresh word from God. And yet sometimes I fear that today's preaching is designed more to make people feel good than to satisfy their hunger and to quench their thirst. Helmut Tillich tells the story of a man walking down a street in Hamburg, Germany one day when breakfast was just a memory, and of seeing a sign in the window that said, "Fresh bread for sale." He was hungry and could almost smell the bread. He turned around and went into the store and asked for a fresh slice of fresh bread. The owner said, "Oh, we don't bake bread here, we just make signs." Sometimes I feel the church is better at making signs than baking bread. They are better at marketing their church than they are at presenting Christ, the bread of life available to the hungry. May the hungry find their way to our churches seeking bread and not leave disappointed, but leave satisfied because they have found Jesus Christ, the living bread. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
That'll be 50 hours. you. Wait, hey, this 50 is a fake.
How do you know it's a fake?
What are you talking about, sir? How can I identify a genuine note from a fake note?
Well, a genuine 50 has a watermark with the jaguar and the written words of the 50, also a thread.
Know your money and know a fake one when you see it. Do not rely on any one security feature. Look for the clarity and quality of printing. The printed lines and colors should be sharp and clear. Feel the quality of the paper and the raised print. Hold the note up to the light to see the windowed security thread. It should form one complete line when held up to the light. The watermark and denominational electrotype. The Jaguar is the watermark in the $100 and $50 notes. The Sleeping Giant is the watermark in the $20, $10, $5, and $2 notes. The see-through feature. The parts of the design printed on the back should fit exactly within the unprinted areas of the front to form the complete design. Check the $100 note for the toucan hologram with the periwinkle flower overprint. Tilt it to see the small images of the toucan and the numeral 100. Check the $50 note for the green foil angelfish. Check even closer. Use an ultraviolet light to see the fluorescent features. Use a magnifier to see the microlettering. Tiny letters that read Central Bank of Belize and the value of the note. Stop the circulation of counterfeit Belize currency notes. Pass all counterfeits to the police at once. It is a criminal offense to hold or use a counterfeit. Be safe, be sure, know your money.
$50 and get a chance to win a $10,000 homecation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
St. Catherine has changed the game. We've gone cashless with Digital Wallet. Now grabbing a bite in the cafeteria is a whole new experience. Who needs cash? We just pay with Digital Wallet. And all our accounts are linked directly to our ID cards. It's quick, safe, and super easy. Download and try Digital Wallet today. Set trends. Keep it cashless with Digital Wallet.
Let us help you to empower your school with Digi Wallet. Streamline payments, elevate efficiency.
Elmer now is set to be arraigned in the High Court today for the December 2022 triple murder of John, David, and Vivian Ramnareis in Belmopan. But the court could not proceed with the arraignment due to some technicalities that arose. Now is to be indicted on 5 counts, 3 counts of murder, 1 attempted murder, and 1 use of deadly means of harm. He appeared before Justice Nigel Pilgrim and was represented by attorney Lyndon Jones, who appeared in person, and senior counsel Godfrey Smith, who appeared virtually. The prosecution was represented by Terrence Williams. In court, Justice Pilgrim brought to the parties' attention the count 5, which is the charge for use of deadly means of harm upon Yemi Alberto, was not properly before the court. Justice Pilgrim explained that under the Indictable Procedures Act, the charge of use of deadly means of harm is to be heard by a judge and jury. The prosecution then asked for time to rectify the indictment, which was granted for September 26th. The attempted murder charge also stems from Na's alleged attack upon Yemi Alberto. Relatives of the murder victims were present outside of the courtroom. On Monday, we told you about 26-year-old Daniel Cal, who died late last week after being released from police custody. Cal had been arrested a few days before for handling stolen goods and would later be discovered in his cell with clear signs of injuries. A post-mortem examination revealed that Cal had died from an inflammation of the lungs and chronic alcoholism. Cal's family, however, are still not satisfied with his treatment while in police custody and intend to take the matter to court. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams maintains that police provided adequate care to Cal while in detention and that the timing of his death was circumstantial. He told us today that he is prepared to take the matter before the court if the family chooses.
On one occasion prior to the second occasion when he went and subsequently died. So it shows that the police were responsive to his needs, and the family members also came and told the police that he was on some medication, and they were allowed to bring those medications for him, and he was taken to the hospital, again with a view to make sure that he was cared for while in the police care. So we can rule that out now, that the police had nothing to do with his death. The family members might still have their own views, and I respect that. They have lost someone, and I think that almost anybody in their position would want to have their own views, so I'm not going to say nothing to condemn them, but rather to see how we can work together with them so that they can really and truly come to the understanding and realization that the death of their loved one had nothing to do with the police.
They do have an attorney, however, and I believe they're planning to take this matter to court. Are you prepared for that, considering that while the police may not have assaulted him or touched him in any kind of way, he was in their care, and while they had facilitated the first trip to the hospital, the family says that they were not informed of any of this. The stitches and everything that had happened to him was a surprise to them, and the state in which they found him on the floor, that also shocked them, left them with this very traumatic image in their head.
Well, the families do have that entitlement. I can't take that away from them. I can't speak illy of them for doing that. If they believe that their loved one was treated in some inhumane manner, or that the police had something to do with the death of their loved ones, then they have all right to take the matter before the courts. And our duty then is to defend it. And I believe that we have substantial proof, even medical proof, that the police did not cause his death. So it's a matter for the court to decide when that time comes.
We also asked Prime Minister John Bersenio to weigh in on the current state of the Belize Police Department. There were no mentions of any reforms to the department in his State of the Nation address. Considering the recent death of 26-year-old Daniel Cal and other reports of alleged police abuse, PM Bersenio was asked for his thoughts on ways in which the department can improve its services to the nation. Here's how he responded.
It's important for me to put on record the tremendous work that Minister Musa has been doing. If you don't know, I mean, over 100+ police have been interdicted or have been fired for whenever there's any feeling of misconduct or their behaviors unbecoming of a police officer. So he has been trying his utmost best along with the Commissioner of Police. We've been doing a lot of training and we've also added counseling to a lot of these policemen and women because they are under tremendous stress when they're out in the streets. I've seen it before, when you're at a party or you're out in the public and people are drinking and they're trying to break up the fight and people be hitting them behind the back. And then whenever they're humans and would respond, somebody's there videoing and say, oh, police brutality. I'm not suggesting that it's not happening. I'm just trying to explain the environment from which the police officers operate. I think we need to look at where we were to where we are today. I think that the police is in a much better place than where it was come November 2020. Do we have more to do? A lot more has to be done. I think a lot more training has to be done. We have to work on changing the culture of the police department. On this issue, what you mentioned, it's very unfortunate what happened. And quite likely, 2020, with hindsight, you have 2020 vision. And obviously, somebody should have called the family from early on to say, hey, something is wrong with Mr. Carl. But I'm told that they have taken out the report to show that whilst he may show some bruises, he died from, it seems that he was an alcoholic and other medical issues, and not necessarily from police brutality. But one hit to a prisoner is one too much, and we should not be tolerated.
Police Inspector Christopher Martinez was recently handed a 5-month prison sentence after pleading guilty to wounding detainee Aaron Flowers. The jail time follows a report filed by Flowers alleging that he was beaten over the head with a padlock. Martinez also claims that Flowers injured him, resulting in the officer being charged for common assault. The conflict allegedly stemmed from claims that Flowers had fired shots at Martinez's home, prompting him to retaliate while Flowers was in police custody. We spoke with Commissioner of Police Chester Williams about instances of police abusing their power over detainees. He told us that while he believes that the sentence is excessive, it sends a message for other officers in the force.
Mr. Martinez took full responsibility for what he did. I believe that he came to the realization that he was wrong and he pled guilty to the charge. I personally believe that the sentence is excessive in nature. It's a matter for him to decide if he's going to appeal the sentence or not. And I hope that police officers are watching. Again, we're seeing a number of instances where police officers are being accused of committing different type of crimes, and they will see that the court system is not playing when it comes to police. We start with Kareem Martinez, where we saw unusual sentence, likewise, excessively high, and then now we have Martinez. It's something for police to watch at, to look at, to make sure that they don't commit themselves.
On Monday, we told you about Hercel Garcia, the Belize City police officer who was caught on video trying to pawn 2 stolen chains valued at $20,000 and $30,000. The jewelry belongs to American firefighter Gilbert Lightburn Jr., who was caught in an altercation a few weeks ago at Shisha nightclub. Lightburn was charged for the attempted murder of 3 individuals after he stabbed them. However, he claims that he was robbed that night and reported over $57,000 worth of missing items. An investigation was launched into Officer Garcia, who was caught on surveillance footage with the items. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams tells us that police have yet to locate all the missing items.
According to the complainant in this case, the same guy who spoke about the firefighter, he was involved in an issue at Shisha nightclub in Belize City, and during that process, he lost 2 chains, I think. One was valued at $75,000 at 8-ounce gold chain. And subsequent to that, he made a report to the police, and police went and checked the palm shops. And at a particular palm shop in Belize City, the police were shown a video which depict the police officer going to that palm shop to palm that gold chain that belongs to the firefighter. Based on that, the police did what needed to be done, and the police officer was arrested for handling stolen goods.
It was only the one chain he was found?
Yes. Well, the chain was not found with him. When he was detained by the police, he have disposed of the chain, and we have not been able to recover it.
And you haven't located the second chain?
No.
Last week, a domestic dispute in Belize City took a dangerous turn when a police officer allegedly fired her boyfriend's service weapon at him. She is 29-year-old Jania Arzu, who is accused of firing a shot at fellow police officer Kendale Nunez during an altercation. Nunez filed a report against her but would later drop the charges. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says that they will proceed with charging Arzu for firing a gun in a public space, and that the department is looking at solutions to address the misuse of weapons issued to officers.
I know that the police officer was charged, the female officer was charged, and the charge was subsequently withdrawn by her common law husband. And I had since given instruction that she must now be charged for discharging a firearm in public. We don't need the evidence from the common law in terms of that. And so the police will be proceeding in that manner in respect to the woman officer who discharged the firearm in that area.
Minister Musa spoke about how cops receive this type of emotional intelligence training because they are dealing with firearms, but that sometimes they are humans and they do react. In that case, do you feel like there's more training that's necessary?
It might not be a matter of more training. It's more a matter of knowing how to control yourself and how to control your anger. As human beings, we all get excited at times over issues. We tend to overreact over incidences due to our own inner emotions at times. And so we must know how to deal with those demons that live within us. It is difficult for some people to control that. I also said to them that we need to take a second look at our firearm policy in terms of who can and who cannot take firearm home. And if we have any police officer who is constantly involved in domestic issue, those police officers must never have a gun at home. Even if it's a licensed gun, we're going to take it away until they can undergo counseling or something to be able to help them to overcome those issues that they are confronted with. And when it comes to our issued firearm, we will not issue them none to take home. If they're working in an area that requires the use of firearm, they'll get one. When they come off duty, they hand that firearm back into the station. So we're looking at that likewise to make sure that we address this whole issue with police officers misusing firearms.
After the break, the extraordinary contributions of Sir Colville Young. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Buenos días. 2 boletos para Ticacas, por favor. ¿Ida y vuelta? 54. Este dinero es falso.
¿Falso? Sí, este billete es falso.
¿Y por qué es falso?
Porque un verdadero billete de $50 tiene una marca de agua en la forma de un jaguar con la marca de agua y electrotipia de denominación y un hilo de seguridad.
Conozca su dinero. Reconozca el billete falso al verlo. No se confíe en solo una de las características de seguridad. Busque la claridad y calidad de la impresión. Las líneas y el color impresos deben ser nítidas y claras. Sienta la calidad del papel y de la impresión levantada. Ponga el billete a la luz y observe. El hilo de seguridad avantanillada debe formar una línea completa cuando se pone a la luz. La marca de agua y la electrotipia de denominación, el Jaguar, es la marca de agua en los billetes de $100 y $50. El gigante dormido es la marca de agua en los billetes de $20, $10, $5 y $2. El registro perfecto. Las partes del diseño impreso en la parte posterior deben caber exactamente dentro de las áreas sin imprimir en el frente del billete para formar el diseño completo. Revise los billetes de $100 para saber si está el holograma del tucán con la impresión sobrepuesta de la flor de vinca per vinca. Inclínelo para ver las imágenes pequeñas del tucán y el numeral 100. Revise los billetes de $50 para saber si está la imagen del pez ángel en color verde plateado. Mira más cerca. Utilice luz ultravioleta para ver los elementos fluorescentes. Utilice una lupa para ver las letras más pequeñas que leen Central Bank of Belize y el valor del billete. Detenga la circulación de los billetes beliceños falsos. Pasa todas las falsificaciones a la policía inmediatamente. Es una ofensa criminal guardar o utilizar falsificaciones. Esté a salvo, esté seguro, conozca su dinero.
Belize, where natural beauty meets luxury, a land of rich culture, stunning landscapes, and a people proud of their heritage. There's so much to be proud of as we commemorate 43 years of independence. At Design Depot, we're inspired by the strength, growth, and pride of our country. With a focus on trust and excellence, we're here to serve you by our commitment to quality and by offering only the finest products and exceptional service. From all of us here at Design Depot, we wish you a safe and happy September celebrations. A nation proud and free. Belize at 43. Design Depot, all in one place.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
We've brought countless features of outstanding individuals to you over the years. Today we attempt to encapsulate the prolific life and contributions of a man who has served Belize in many roles as educator, musical composer, writer and poet, sports enthusiast, patron of the Scouts, and perhaps the role for which he is most endeared as Belize's second Governor General. Sir Colville Norbert Young was born on November 20th, 1932. He received his degrees from the University of the West Indies in 1961 and the University of York in 1971. He married Lady Norma Young in 1956, and their union produced 4 children, Colville Jr., Maureen, Lynn, and Carlton. Before his 28th year service as Governor General, Sir Colville composed many musical pieces and wrote 7 Belizean short stories, including the famous Pataki Full. In this edition of Culture Tuesday, we bring you a glimpse of the many contributions of this exemplary Belizean, Sir Colville Young. News 5's Marion Ali reports.
He was appointed as the Governor General in 1993, taking office on November 17th of that year. In 1994, he was knighted with the title of Sir. He held the position of Governor General for 28 years, until he retired in 2021. But there is so much more to add to the name of Sir Colville Young. His accomplishments and contributions to Belize's growth and development are many. Those contributions have been made in music, literature, academia, culture, social outreach, and sports. For those who didn't know, Sir Colville was the founding president of Belize's National University, then known as the University College of Belize, where he was a lecturer until his appointment as Governor General. In 2005, one of the few occasions when he gave a speech, he shared profound thoughts about the issue of poverty and the solution to that problem.
My friends, the greatest single cause of human misery on our planet is surely poverty. And admittedly, the surest remedy for poverty is economic growth and a fair sharing among the people of a country of the fruits of economic growth.
During his tenure as Governor General, Sir Colville Young worked with 4 of Belize's prime ministers. One of them, Said Musa, whom he taught at St. Michael's College, said he simply had to keep Sir Colville as GG.
When I became Prime Minister in 1998, I had to make a decision whether or not to retain Sir Colville, but I had no hesitation in keeping him as our Governor General because I considered him, and I still do, as a very high person, a person of high integrity, honesty, and discretion.
On Sir Colville's retirement, his second son, Lin Young, sat down with News 5 and shared with us what it was like growing up with Sir Colville as a father.
We had 2 very good parents, and I think we took it for granted. I think it's after we grew up then we realized that we really had special parents, and perhaps part of it is that they were both teachers, so they both knew how to motivate, and they were both good teachers. My father taught both Said Musa and Dean Barrow, so yeah, it's my joke with him that he's responsible for the sad state of politics in Belize sometimes, but that's another story, right?
When Sir Colville was appointed Governor General of Belize, Lin and all his siblings were already grown and living their own lives. He said his father did not hesitate to take on the new role in his life.
He has a tremendous love for the country. I'd have to say he's from the kind of make that the George Prices and Philip Golsons and so came from, right? I don't know what it was around that time, but they, you know, country before everything else, right? So if he's called on to serve, even now, you know, when we talked to him about retirement, he was very reluctant because he said he can serve and he felt he should serve. So for him, it was not so much the honor, but the opportunity to serve and also to make a difference.
Prior to his retirement, Sir Colville composed several musical pieces, including the folk opera Tiger Dead, the Ode to Independence, the Misa Caribeña, and one special piece for the first visit of Queen Elizabeth II in 1986, titled Welcome to Belize, O Queen Elizabeth. Sir Colville's love for music was such that he used his office as Governor General to push the teaching of music in schools. For many years, he donated wind instruments to primary schools across the country. His literary works include Creole Proverbs of Belize, From One Caribbean Corner, and all-time favorites Pataki Full, Snapshots of Belize, and the play Riding Haas from the Pingwing Jukme series. Sir Colville was also a patron of the Scout Association of Belize, who named their new headquarters the Sir Colville N. Young Building. It is an honor fitting for a great Belizean who has etched his mark on so much of the Belizean landscape. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Kampala addresses increase in fatal road traffic accidents.
Historic heat waves are affecting countries like never before.
Children are at risk because the humidity is very high, and the days in Belize are getting pretty hot. It's much hotter than before.
Children can become very sick when there are high temperatures and when we are experiencing extreme heat.
I feel my skin burning sometimes. My shoe, it feels very hot when I walk around.
So we encourage teachers, students, and parents to encourage children to carry water in their water bottles.
I think they should always have water in the classes to refill their water just in case they cannot come out to buy the water or their water finished in class.
You should do your research on heat stress, and that way you'll be able to easily identify symptoms if they are present in you or your children or any family members. And then if they are present, you act immediately and take yourself or whoever to healthcare facilities.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added on for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix add-on for only $28.13 more. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
I say to you that there is a dire global health challenge at our gates in the global south. We have experienced an exponential rise in cardiovascular disease, chronic respiratory and infectious diseases, cancer, diabetes, air pollution, mental health challenges, malnutrition, and all of this while the climate crisis has impacted us and our environment and will continue to do so. We, the citizens of the Caribbean, are faced with a simple choice. What will our future be?
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Reports of fatal road traffic accidents have increased over the last several weeks. Among those reports is a spike in fatal motorcycle accidents. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says motorcycles continue to be an issue for traffic enforcement, including police officers. He says the department is looking at the amendment of certain legislation to better regulate motorcyclists.
I really and truly don't know what else can the police and the Department of Transport do. We would have to have police at every mile post or traffic officer at every mile post. Because as much as we do enforcements, putting in place checkpoints and highway patrols, when the drivers approaches the checkpoint, they slow down. And the minute they're out of sight of that checkpoint, then they adapt their usual bad driving habit. We find that many of these accidents are as a result of drivers not paying attention. Driving without due attention. Motorcycle continues to be an issue. How we address that, I think that we have been able to do a number of sensitization, even creating flyers on safety tips on these motorcycles, and even that is not helping. It certainly will require that drivers of motor vehicles and riders of motorcycles take more responsibility in ensuring that they exercise more caution in the driving of motor vehicles and the handling of motorcycles. Motorcycle riders at times tend to operate in such a way that the rules of the road don't apply to them. They have a separate rule that applies to them, which is not the case. And in some instances, the drivers of motor vehicle have no regards for motorcycle riders. So it's a dual issue that we have to look at to see how we can address it. But it certainly raises a serious question. If we look at the amount of traffic fatalities we have had this year, it's a lot for a small country. And so we need to see what else we can do. We continue to be in dialogue with the Department of Transport. We're looking at the amendment of some laws to be able to regulate more, particularly motorcycle riders. And once those laws are amended, then we see how it goes from there.
Last Thursday, 61-year-old Ubaldo Guzman was chopped to death at his home in Santa Elena town. He was killed after a dispute with his drinking partner, Peter August. August claimed that he acted out of self-defense. However, this has left family members and friends of Guzman confused, as they knew him to have an injured hand. August was subsequently charged with manslaughter. We asked Commissioner of Police Chester Williams for some insight into August's charge.
I will not go into specifics, but I can say to you that when it comes to a person who has caused the death of another person by unlawful harm, where that person raises the defense of self-defense, the police cannot on our own charge. The criminal code dictates that we must send that decision to the DPP office for directives. And in this case, the accused person raises self-defense that he was attacked first by Guzman with a machete and he was chopped, and he do have a chop wound, and he defended himself, leading to Guzman's death. Now this is a situation where two persons are in a house. There are no independent witnesses to contradict what the accused killer is saying. And the DPP office would be guided by the evidence before them in arriving at a decision as to whether to charge for murder or manslaughter. And in this particular case, they opted to charge for manslaughter based on the statement given by the accused killer. And so the police just simply carried out the instructions as given by the DPP office.
A night of drinking this past weekend took a turn for the worse, resulting in one person being stabbed and hospitalized. On Sunday, Nelson Pascasio filed a report against his friend Manuel Avila, claiming that he had broken a glass bottle and stabbed him in the abdomen. Pascasio was subsequently rushed to the Belize City Hospital for treatment and is now in stable condition. ACP Alberto Romero has the report.
On Sunday, police responded to a report at St. George's Key, where Nelson Pascasio reported that he was at the quay along with another person, Manuel Avila, drinking. They got into an argument, at which point Manuel Avila broke a pint and stabbed him to the chest. Both were taken by a Coast Guard to Belize City, where Pascasio was treated and is in a stable condition. Manuel Avila has since been arrested and charged for the crimes of aggravated assault and grievous harm.
So he was intoxicated?
Yeah, they were both intoxicated.
Do you know what they were arguing about?
I'm not sure what they were arguing about.
But they were friends prior to this?
Yeah, they know each other. They were staying at the island.
Up next, livestock producers to access financing through the DFC.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer. With these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
When a hurricane hits, you want to know you're covered. Take time to review your policy details. Are you adequately covered for hurricane damage? Visit us at 1 Coney Drive in Belize City or one of our convenient countrywide agents. Don't face stormy weather without the right insurance. Having the correct coverage is priceless. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
We all know about the phasing out of single-use plastics and the enactment of pollution from the plastics regulations. One of the key components in this regulation states that for an item to be considered biodegradable, it must consist of more than 50% of bio-based content. Here, you will find out how the Department of the Environment determines what items meet the criteria and what equipment is being used to guide that process.
Since 2019, the Department of the Environment has been working with CIFAS in doing microplastics. Through this project, CIFAS has donated 2 microscope Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy equipment to strengthen capacities on monitoring and enforcement to reduce marine litter and plastic pollution. The FTIR can be used to identify unknown materials. The Department of the Environment will use the equipment to determine the composition of single-use plastics and biodegradable products to enforce the environmental protection, pollution from plastics regulations.
While we have a long way to go with the implementation of the pollution from plastics regulation, having this equipment is one step closer. For more information on what's being done about biodegradables and ways you can help, visit our website at www.doe.gov.bz.
Every moment of every day, crystal water is taste you can trust.
Today, the Development Finance Corporation and the Belize Livestock Producers Association signed a memorandum of understanding to establish collaborative assistance to livestock producers nationwide. The MOU seeks to establish climate-smart practices among small, medium, and large producers to improve resiliency and sustainability. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon with more details.
When you think about iconic Belizean dishes, rice and beans and chicken, or calfoot soup may come to mind. Without farmers and ranchers across the country, the food we know and love may not be accessible to make. That is why the Development and Finance Corporation and the Belize Livestock Producers Association are partnering to increase support for these valuable members of Belizean society. The Chief Executive Officer of the BLPA, William Usher, tells us about this partnership.
This partnership signifies a new chapter in the development and modernization of the livestock industry in Belize, an industry that is crucial not only to our economy, but to the livelihoods of thousands of Belizean farmers and ranchers. The livestock industry is critical to Belize's economy and the livelihood of thousands of Belizean families. Our members are not just producers. They are stewards of the land, custodians of sustainable practices, and contributors to the food security and economic well-being of our nation. Since its establishment in 1977, BLPA has been committed to the growth and sustainability of the livestock sector, from implementing the Belize National Sanitary Cattle Plan project, which paved the way for our national traceability system, to represent over 7,000 cattle farmers with a total herd of nearly 200,000 animals. We have worked tirelessly to ensure that Belize's livestock industry meet both domestic needs and international standards.
One of the key components of the MOU is resilience, as industry stakeholders work towards overcoming challenges such as climate change, fluctuating market conditions, and evolving environmental regulations.
These solutions, such as the climate-resilient cattle loans, are expected to directly address the financial gaps many small, medium, and large farmers, ranchers face. But financing alone is not enough. This partnership also emphasizes capacity building and technical assistance, where BLP and DFC will work together to educate farmers on climate-smart practices and modern herd management techniques. In an area of changing climatic conditions, adopting sustainable farming practices is essential to protecting the environment, ensuring food security, and enhancing the resilience of our sector.
The DFC has committed to stand with livestock producers when threats arise in the industry and meet the needs of the farmers through financing solutions and preventative measures.
The last time we had to deal with a big threat in this area was back in 1994, and some of the practices that the farmers used to use then have gone, and so we may have to get ready to rebuild that. So we're signaling that we realize that, and we are prepared to work and to see what DFC can do. Because we are a development finance institution, we have a level of flexibility and patience, and to be able to give forbearance where it's needed to work through situations. So that is a strength that we bring. So as you said, William, we see this as an opportunity to grow. We see it as a relationship. It's not a piece of paper. And we look forward to celebrate milestones with, I guess, one of the ultimate milestones being to say that we have an industry that's net zero.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
In his address, Prime Minister John Bersenio announced that the Fiscal Incentives Act and the Designated Processing Areas programs have been updated to expand the range of eligible MSMEs. During his interview, PM Bersenio explained that this is being done to encourage more MSMEs to transition from the informal to the formal sector.
I've been mentioning that several times when I've introduced it into the House. What we want to do is that many small businesses, become a part of the informal sector. They don't register with the Belize Tax Service, they don't register with Social Security, because they feel that they get nothing in return. What we have done, we have made it easier for them to be able to register through Beltrade. Beltrade would help them with that. We made the form so much easier, but also as an incentive, we say if you register, then we can give you tax exemptions on your goods that you need to import for up to 4 years, and I think for a total of $1 million. So we've been saying that for some time. So basically that's what we're doing. So if, for instance, if you are a small entrepreneur doing hot sauce, then you could then import your bottles duty free, because if you are registered under the MSMEs program, and then we also even said that we will give you an exemption from any fees or penalties you have to pay because you were not registered. So we're doing all of that to encourage them to move from the informal sector into the formal sector.
The Prime Minister is yet to announce a date for the upcoming general elections. There were speculations that he would make the announcement today. That did not happen, so we asked him about it after the ceremony. Here's what he told us.
As I have said repeatedly that we were elected for 5 years, and we plan to try to go as close as possible to the 5 years, but that there will be no elections in 2024. that elections will be called in 2025, whenever I believe, after consultations with different people, when we believe would be the opportune time to have an opportune time, not only about just winning the election, but to believe that we've accomplished a lot. Not everything. We're far from accomplishing what we promised. As I mentioned, Plan Belize is not a 5-year manifesto. It's a transformative document, a living document that we will continue tweaking and changing over time. So that will be there for 10, 15, 20 years. So we want to believe that we have accomplished enough that we can go to the Belizean people and say, listen, this is what we have done, not judge us on our accomplishments. And we hope and we have every confidence that the Belizean people are going to support us once again.
Belize will soon see the rollout of several new currency designs. Prime Minister Berno gave reporters an update today. He said that the new designs have been presented to him and they will be presented to the public after the September celebrations are concluded.
The governor of the central bank came to my office, I think about 2 weeks ago, to show us the new dollars. We're using the national heroes, both George Price and Philip Wilson. They are the ones that are going to be on the face. And so the new dollars that we introduce probably later this year or early next year will be with those ones. So it's being changed, but it will have a lot of other features to protect against counterfeit. So it has taken a process. And also we have to ease out the old dollar bills, and as we get rid of some of them, these are going to be introduced. So it's already done, it's already been approved, and we have presented it to the cabinet last year or earlier this year. And now I told the governor probably after the 21st celebrations, I want him to come and show the actual bills. So it's coming, it's ready.
Any insights on the color scheme, all blue notes?
I would not object, but actually it's blue and red.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.